We're going to talk today about memory power for accelerated learning for ACT and SAT. Now, one thing that frequently comes up in the critical reading portion of the SAT and the ACT is how you really anchor things down in your memory. Too many students in the critical reading portion of the SAT and in the reading and science tests on the ACT, they go through the material with a minimum of retention, and this is a problem. So what I want to focus on is learn how to memorize and retain what you need for those exams. And this method actually can be applied for other areas, but we're going to go ahead and focus it on the SAT and the ACT today. So let's say if you had a SAT passage, and the passage concerned Theodore Roosevelt, and in that passage they went over a number of his accomplishments, brokering the 1905 peace treaty between Russia and Japan, and his so-called trust busting, where he went after some large corporations to divide them up, and so on. So let's say if there was a lot of related material like that, and let's say if they brought the saying that's attributed to Teddy Roosevelt, talk softly and carry a big stick. Let's say if that was gone over as part of the SAT. Well, one way you have of retaining that material is to just read it, and reread it. This was called rote learning, and rote learning has its purpose. A certain amount of learning we're going to do is going to be rote learning. On the other hand, if we really learn to train our memories, we can do some pretty amazing things. So let's talk about this passage with Teddy Roosevelt. Talk softly and carry a big stick. Let's say in this particular passage that what Teddy Roosevelt did is you pictured in his mind, in your mind, you created something similar to a political cartoon in your mind, and you pictured him holding up a big stick, and with that big stick, he was hitting some large factors. This would remind you of the trust busting of the companies, and with his other hand, he is shaking hands with Russia and Japan. You might think of the Russian bear. You might think of the Japanese flag. However, you're going to remember that. And then possibly, what if they also referred to the Panama Canal, the building of that? What you could also picture in your mind is maybe he has an imaginary third arm, and he has a shovel, and he's digging the Panama Canal. So if you can switch these things on in your mind, really get your mind to dig in and process some of these basics, it's remarkable what you can do to retain that information. So remember, what we're looking at is increasing the retention of the material without having to reread it. There's so many ways that you can apply this. You can do what I call word pegging, where you have the words that are not only associated with each other, but one thing triggers another, and if you will invest in time and effort practicing these memory techniques. The one that I'm emphasizing here today is visualizing and picture things. One thing, if you take what we talked about with Teddy Roosevelt there, is what we were picturing was something that's absurd. Busting up a factory, with a large stick. This is something that's very much outside of what we would expect in the real world, and this is where so much of the power comes from. is learning to use your memory in that way. There's so much that can be done in terms of memory training, creating that infrastructure that just makes it so much easier for you. But again, let's do just a quick review here. Step one, what you want to do is create a vivid word picture. Number two, when you've created the vivid word picture, have it link up to something that you already know. And then in the context of that word picture, try to have it link up with one thing after another. For instance, the example I gave you with Teddy Roosevelt, we had it linked up not only to Roosevelt, but we also had it linked up to his brokering the 1905 Russo-Japanese War, peace, being there when they signed on. We had it connected up to his when he went after large corporations to bust them up, what he called trust busting, and we also even worked in the visualization with the picture of the Panama Canal. These are very powerful things. This is a very powerful method for retaining information. It's a question of training the mind that way. And I look forward to hearing the benefits that you achieve from this. My name is Darryl Hold at affordabletutor.com. You can reach me at tutorpro88 at gmail.com.